15 love.
You mentioned Ebden and Hunter wanting to be out there. I mean, this is the time of the year that you want to get matches under your belt. Love that they are out there wanting to still play this match. They want to try and play the year together. Of course, it's an Olympic year, so I think that's in their sights. But it's always difficult, I think. They would not be very familiar with their opponents. And so a lot of these first few games is trying to understand patterns of your opponents, get used to how they hit the ball, what their strengths and weaknesses are.
40-15.
The way Ebden played against the U.S. team the other night, I mean, that was outstanding. The way he was all over the court, so consistent, played one of the best matches.
Game Team Australia. First game.
Yeah, it was good to see that announcement that they're planning to play all the Grand Slams, and based on having the entry, the Paris Olympic Games as well, should be okay. Not as easy as it seems to find the right partner who's available and doesn't have an existing commitment and all of those things. And quite often see Lise Mertens as the now regular doubles partner for Storm Hunter and the partner for Matt Ebden.
Nikola Cacic to serve.
There always seems to be a lot of movement in that regard.
Serbia. Love. Fifteen on.
That's what Ebden is so good at. He's very active at the net. He's so close to the net as well, which makes these volleys so much easier. Don't have to have that huge swing. Just keeps that racket in front of him nice and short.
She's been diving into the entry of the Australian Open, Jill, and there is a change for Storm Hunter coming for the Australian Open.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. As you mentioned, she was with Mertens last year. They got to the WTA finals in Cancun at the end of the year, but they have decided to split. Now Hunter will be playing with Siniakova at the Australian Open.
I don't have all of the double statistics with me, but Kajikova, didn't they win just about everything last year?
Pretty much almost everything for many years. Yeah, but sometimes you just want that freshness, maybe. I was a little bit surprised when I heard that they weren't going to play together anymore, but there's been a few switches.
Hunter to serve for Team Australia.
And talking about Krejcikova, who was partnered with Sinikova, she'll now be playing with Laura Sigmund, who just won the WTA finals in Cancun with Spanareva. So that's a new partnership as well.
Kind of feel sometimes that they just get all the balls in the air and throw them up and see who's closest and say, okay, that's who we're going to play with.
Hunter has such a nice lefty serve, and she uses it so well. She can swing it out wide on that ad side, but she utilizes the body serve very well, which is so good for a lefty. It's tough to get out of the way of that ball, and it just allows Ebden to really get active at the net.
At 13-15.
Was that a double hit from Ebden? It's quick hands. Nicole Pratt with quick hands as well, off the team bench.
At 40-15.
Well, here for Cacic, it was the right ball to go for, trying to go right into the body at this one from Ebden, but he did a good job of just keeping his eye on the ball and great reflexes.
Like it just got stuck on the racket. He was able to scoop it along. So here's your prize when you beat the world #1. You go to the cafe and you get a bag of snakes. They're lollies, by the way, if you're or sweets, candy. There's so many different ways to explain it. And he's not sharing them either. John Millman's next to him, and he's got the whole bag. Look at John's looking at them too. Oh, you know. Can you spare one? Alex, come on, please.
I think he's trying to hide so no one sees him, but we're right on him.
No. We have operatives everywhere.
That's a nice slice return, just snuck by Ebden.
Point.
Just a reminder, deciding point here. So we get to juice gender to gender.
Team Serbia.
So Team Serbia get the break. They lead 2-1.
Lead 2-1.
Oh, no, now the snakes are being shared around. There's Perez has got hands on one. So one of the things the Australians do need to be mindful of here, we talked about the start there, gone in with their top combination. They'll have to have a clean sweep as they head off to the semi-finals. But you can't let the guard down because the opposition, particularly with Nikola Cacic, such an formidable doubles player, and down an early break.
To serve for Team Serbia. Love 15.
It's a little bit of a tough situation. I mean, as good of competitors they are, they know they're already through to the semifinals, but yet still going out, having to compete and against opponents that you're unfamiliar with. It's not that easy of a situation. That's perfect placement. Ebden was at the right spot, covering
15 all.
that middle of the court. That's where normally a lot of those volleys go, and smart choice from Cacic to use the angle.
Again, that was where Ebden was impressive in both the ties so far, but particularly against the US, the overhead from any part of the court, really. Very comfortable with the aerial ball high into the lights. Doesn't seem to bother him.
Radanovic staying nice and low on that backhand. It was great approach from Ebden. He does a good job of keeping that forehand nice and flat. So off that volley, just stayed so low. She actually got her knee on the ground.
So Cacic active at the net, effectively too.
30.
It's a fast start for Team Serbia. Catherine Whitaker's heading down towards the Team Serbia bench, and he's going to have a quick chat to Goran Ivanisevic.
Yes, Goran, generous as ever with your time. Thanks for this. I've got to ask you, Novak, after that defeat, how was the debrief backstage?
I think Alex played very well and very tactically smart. Yeah, he has a little problem with the wrist, but it's not. It's important that he's be ready in 10, 11 days. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, 10 days to go. What do the next 10 days look like, and how much can you tell us about that wrist injury?
For sure, he's going to take a couple of days off, and then we're going to start practicing slowly. But I don't think it's a big concern. He came here to play a few matches. He did. He played 3 very good matches. Okay, today was a little bit less good, but overall it was a good preparation, and that's what we need. He needs for us right now.
To play a few matches and to see the Quackers.
Something like that.
Go well, Goran. See you in Melbourne.
Thank you.
Well done, Catherine.
30 love.
Fair to say that Goran's a reluctant interviewer, so well done. Well, there's a vocal group of Serbian fans,
15.
the Australian end, who've made their way down courtside.
First service.
Well, it's the right move from Cacic, just maybe moving a little bit too across the court. Those are the type of volleys that you want to have a couple steps forward a little bit, angle, cut that off a little bit better.
Layer 14. 30. Team Australia.
So Ebden holds serve.
Team Serbia.
Serbians lead in this first set 3-2. It's one of the most remote parts of Australia, and it's what makes it so popular, the Kimberleys region. Mitchell Falls, Bungle Bungles, very strong historical, indigenous, cultural area at the natural wild. Have a look at that, absolutely superb. And the trip there for anyone is unforgettable. Not too many Australians make it, because it is so remote, but those that do say that it's absolutely spectacular from Australia and around the world. I understand, Jill, that you're going to play tourist tomorrow, and you're going to rival the best when it comes to a selfie with a quokka.
I am very excited. You've been there, right?
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Fantastic.
I specifically changed my flight so I could go to the Rottnest Island tomorrow.
You have to swim there. You a good swimmer?
No, horrible.
Okay.
Why do I have to swim?
They actually do have a swim from
I'm actually kind of scared.
Cottesloe to Fremantle. And the ferry will take you there.
We'll have to talk.
Unless you're going by helicopter, which is what a lot of the teams did.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Yelena went by helicopter, I think, too. But after our discussion yesterday about
15 love.
the sharks in the water, I don't know if I want
Well, we were
to go
discussing at dinner last night the
swimming.
irriganji,
The
which is
irriganji, yeah.
the little jellyfish that mainly in the northern parts of Australia in the very warm water. But they are nasty critters.
I just feel like you have to do
15
so
all.
much with that volley to get it past Ebden so quick at the baseline. It was the right move for Cacic to take that ball. He was the closer player to the net.
Layer 13, 15.
That's better play. Australians at the moment 9 unforced errors, and you kind of feel, given that they know that they've qualified already, that you have the physical involvement, and then you have the emotional and mental application, and physically 100% always, but sometimes just that emotional and mental application. It's not 10 out of 10 at the moment for the Australians.
That's what was mentioned at the beginning, how difficult it can be knowing that you've won already, and Storm and Matt were out there the entire match, of Isla as well, trying to cheer her on, and just having that mental involvement in that match, knowing that that was the match that could get them through. It takes a lot of energy, even though you're not maybe physically doing anything, but it does take a lot of emotional energy.
That's better. So get the break back, 3-all. It's a good point. It's nearly 6 hours since they arrived at the courts, about 3 p.m. local time. So it's one of the things that is unique to this competition, with it all happening on the same day, that they do have to arrive with the team, have the warm-up when it's available, be a teammate for 2 singles matches, and then 5 hours after all of that, you get your opportunity to take centre stage. 3-all.
I think you can get ahead of yourself as well. I mean, you're already thinking about Sydney, potentially, and they have flights tomorrow that they have to catch, but Radanovic and Cacic are playing pretty well. I mean, it's tough for them, too, just to be thrown in all of a sudden, having not played a match this entire event. That pass to Ebden a couple times
15-all.
at the net. Smart to use that down the line shot right away against a player who loves to be so active at the net. You can see Ebden just making the move, maybe slightly too early, left that line open.
At 13-15.
So the sharpness is returning for the Australians.
15.
Not much you can do about that, though. Cacic's turning's been sharp.
14-13.
Yeah, I think they can go down the line almost the majority of the time. I mean, they've gotten it past Ebden numerous times now, and just keep going there and keep him honest until he covers that line. It's been working every time so far for the Serbians.
Team Australia, new balls, please.
So Team Australia leading 4-3.
Lead 4 games to 3.
My grandma could be at the net of that serve. Bomb flat tee or the lefty. Great serve.
Good, the shot.
Yeah.
Keep pulling your plate.
Keep it going. Come on. Break it in now. Come on.
So the Australians won the last 3 games, 2 service holds and the break of Nikola Cacic. So they have their nose in front on the scoreboard. A break of serve apiece. Storm Hunters serve in the 3rd game and then Cacic in the 6th. New balls
5 more
here.
seconds. Time.
Now, we heard the Australian team talking just a little bit on the sideline. Couldn't
Lob
quite
15.
catch everything, but did hear Nicole and Pratt just mention a little bit, keep making the calls, planning the calls, and that just means, you know, have a clear game plan in mind on each point. They're very good at using the signals and communicating with each other, the Australians, and that just gives you a little bit more decisiveness in your mind.
That was a great overhead from Matt Ebden.
Well, that was a great example of the communication that we were just talking about.
Lob 30.
Ebden calling Hunter off that overhead immediately. And it's so important to say it early as well, just so there's no threat of Hunter getting involved. She just immediately closed the net and allowed Ebden to take that overhead.
At 15-30. Net for service.
Great reflex from Cacic. She was more alert at the net on that one, expecting the ball to come right at him, and maybe Hunter just rushing on that half volley, just pushing it long.
Touch. 40-30.
Well, they've done well here, Team Serbia. They're in a bit of bother at 130 down. Managed to work their way back into this. Important service hold at 3-4.
Deuce. Deciding point.
Okay, so big point here, obviously, but some deciding points are more important than other deciding points, and we're down the break already.
Got it. Game. Team Australia.
The door was only just ajar, but Storm Hunter found a way past Cacic, who threw his head back because he knew that he'd committed to the middle.
Team Australia.
Well, it's interesting because off the return, he really hugged the sideline, expecting the return to go down the line, and so almost overcompensated on that next one, looking for the middle ball. It was great disguise from Hunter, just whipped that forehand at the last minute down the line.
Love.
Just got a little distracted. Hunter making a move with her racket for that volley and pulled it away at the last moment, so Ebden just getting a little distracted.
$30-15.
Oh, it's a good move by Cacic. Just got in the eyesight of Ebden, forcing him to go for a little bit too wide of an angle.
30.
Sometimes it's just about that extra movement at the net. It might not even touch a ball, but just to get into the minds of your opponent.
A 40-30.
After working their way back after that early break, Team Australia with the set point. So strong work from the Australians. A slow start, worked their way back into it, and they take the first set 6-3. $35 minutes. It was around that time, Jill, that we identified that they just weren't as sharp as they probably wanted to be. They obviously sensed that themselves, and their error rate reduced, the winning rate increased, and they were able to come back. Their unforced errors 13. That probably hasn't changed much since midway through the set.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that tells the story, I think, from just the first 3 or 4 games. And I think the Serbians started much stronger. I think they came out with a little bit more energy than the Australians, but think Ebden and Hunter did a good job of getting a little bit more clear as that set went on and just got a little bit more active. I think Ebden in particular started moving a little bit better, started moving more at the net, and just putting a little bit more pace behind his shots. But they showed good variety out there.
That was a big moment. Breaking Radanovic serve in the 8th game. Catherine Whitaker's courtside. She's loving the music. I'm just wondering about Goran and Novak having a couple of days off. That doesn't seem to me like the sort of thing that Novak Djokovic would like to do.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell, isn't it? You're always reading between the lines with comments like that. I got the impression Goran and Novak aren't too concerned, medium to long term. We've seen him recover from niggles like this just fine. He's the master of timing himself and his body to be ready when it needs to be. I could very well be wrong here, but I get the impression he'll be good to go in 10 days' time.
Well, 10 days is a long time for a lot of injuries. You can do a lot in 10 days, but you do have to sometimes have time off completely. The reality is from Perth back across, it's a day off anyway, really. Yeah, nice. Well, I remember when he arrived here from Saudi Arabia after he played the exhibition match against Alcaraz, he came straight to the courts. And so he didn't touch down in Perth until 6 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. And he came virtually straight here at 8 or 9 o'clock to have a hit. So it's sort of a tennis thing. They love to be out on the court. So 2 days off, Jill, is...
But that's a very good thing to do when you've flown that many hours. The first thing you want to do.
Sleep,
well, no, the first thing you want to do is get a little physical activity, because that does help quite a bit with the jet lag. So, and I mean, he knows his body very well. He knows what he needs. So I actually think that's a good call to get that activity, and then I think it helps you in the long run with the jet lag. But I agree with Catherine. I don't think there's too much concern there. I got that impression as well, and I don't think it's going to take that long for him to recover. And I think, you know, I think they were both very happy that the fact that he was getting matches, that's what you want at the beginning of the year, is to get matches under your belt.
At 40-30.
Well, I like that Radanovic is trying to move and trying to get involved, but just not getting close enough to the net or court positions a little bit further back to see how she goes backwards on that one step. I mean, that's making it, the Duvall, a little bit more difficult for her to get the advantage, had to hit up on that ball.
That was a disappointing way to finish his opening service game.
First game
on the deciding point, Team Australia
second set
with the early break. Good crowd remaining at RAC Arena. Just joining us, I've enjoyed some great Australian acts, and Alex de Minaur beating the world #1 Novak Djokovic 6-4, 6-4. First time in his career he's beaten the world number one. Djokovic had a 43-match winning streak on Australian soil, stretching back to the 2019 Australian Open. And Tomjanovic defeated Natalia Stevanovic, who came in after Olga Danilovic
15 love.
withdrew from the women's singles through fatigue. She won 6-1, 6-1, and that was enough to confirm the tie for Australia.
$30 love. $40 love. $40-15. Game. Team Australia.
Well, starting to move into their work now.
Team Australia lead 2 games to love.
7 games in a row now for the Australians.
At 15 love.
That was a pretty good deep serve. I was expecting Ebden to hit and come forward. That's what he did so well against the American team. Did not hesitate to hit and keep forward towards the net, but just hesitated slightly. Great move by Cacic.
Let for service. $40 love. Net for service. Game. Team Serbia.
So Team Serbia halt that winning run from the Australians.
Team Australia
The Australians
lead 2 games to 1.
Here with a break at 2-1. So set in 2-1 for the Australians. dance captain of the Australian team is John Millman. He's just moving smoothly in the background there.
I think it's getting Alex involved a little bit as well.
Now, every class needs a dance captain.
Time.
Moves like Millman.
And 15 love.
Good player to have on the team. He's always got happy disposition. Happy to sit and cheer for 6 hours non-stop.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad mood. Always has such good energy.
Yeah, that's very good indeed from Storm Hunter.
I think Cacic knew it as well. I think he was
30 love.
again going to the middle and left that line open, but maybe went a little bit too far and just couldn't quite get back in time.
And 30-15.
Still the right move from Ebden. Made the mistake, but still puts pressure on the Serbians. It's the right play. I think Cacic had a little bit more rotation on that ball, so it just dipped a little bit lower than Ebden expected. Well, I like Radanovic's backhand. She
40-15.
really gets that nice shoulder turn. She strikes that ball extremely well. It's just the power is not going to get it past Ebden. He's so quick at the net. Just keeps very good at keeping the racket head in front of him and just using that pace against his opponents.
Game team Australia. Team Australia lead 3-1. Lock 15.
That's a good eye by Radanovic. Matt Ebden just pulling off that forehand slightly.
It's one of those little, it was like a magnet. It just was following him. I can't believe I didn't get out of the way. I moved back and it kept following. Just had eyes. Have a look at this. Yeah, in cricket parlance, that's leg before. That's
desperately wanted
not going to referral. There. Look, Johnny Millman, you're out. Hey, you're gone. Get out. You got him. say for most of the audience, they've got absolutely no idea what we're talking about unless you're into cricket.
I'm with you, Dave.
I don't know what
And
you're
you
talking
understand
about.
the John Millman reaction was absolutely priceless.
14, 15. Team Serbia.
Cacic holds serve. And, keeps them in this 3-2. Team Australia.
3 games to 2.
Kings Park. Jill, you went up there. You want to talk about
yesterday.
it?
It was beautiful. It actually didn't take very long from the city. It was only about, I don't know, 25-minute walk, and I was standing right there where that memorial is. It's a beautiful view of the city.
Did you march up Jacob's ladder?
I
the
did
stairs?
march up
Did
Jacob's
you sprint,
ladder.
Or did you just
I did
walk?
not sprint.
Non-stop?
But there were a lot of people that were making the effort. I was pretty impressed.
You told me you just glided up there like a gazelle.
The way you explained it yesterday, I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but it wasn't. It wasn't too long.
Here's this reaction with John Millman playing cricket umpire, and he's even risen up off his feet. He said, "You are out." That is plumb in front. Off you go.
Like Dave Warner facing Stuart Broad.
Who won the Ashes?
My time.
That's me out.
15 love.
Just a minor point of order, retained the Ashes.
Since the middle part of the first set, where the Australians were just a fraction sluggish, weren't they? 1-3 down. Everything improved from that point on.
Game. Team Australia.
Well, it was beautifully done. No panic right there from Ebden.
Team Australia lead 4 games to 2.
Perfect shot, noticing that Radanovic was back at the baseline.
And 15 love.
Cacic's definitely moving a lot more, and his position has been a little bit better as his match has gone along. He's much more closer to the net. Sometimes he's given the line away, but I like that he's being a little bit more active. That's great growling from Radanovic to the baseline, because a good big return from Hunter. And she warned Cacic that ball was going up, so he just took a couple steps to give him a little bit more room to react to that ball.
Game. Team Serbia, new balls,
So
please.
good service hold from Radanovic. And still Team Australia with the ascendancy here.
Team
4-3.
Australia lead 4 games to 3.
Das ist er.
We lost one, I think.
This is one of your favourite replays, Jill, with the fireworks and the explosion.
I
when
do
the ball
like that.
lands.
Yeah, I like seeing
Not
where
quite as effective on the single service ace as it is for a long rally where you see multiples.
Yeah, because you get a sense of how much the players are spreading the court and the angles that they're able to produce. I think it just gives great insight to see the shot selections from the players and how much they're able to get their opponents on the move. I think it's great.
Hardy fans still in the arena here at RAC in Perth, and new balls here. We have the one service break in this set, came in the opening service game of Nikola Cacic. So Hunter serving 4-3.
Love.
Is that a forecast or is it a retrospective fault? Let's see.
Left for service.
That's great serve. Lefty serve into the body. It's tough to take that one as a forehand because the ball just keeps following you. And she tried to get out of the way, but with that nice slice from Hunter, just kept going into the body.
Left for service.
That's a really smart shot selection from Cacic. Wasn't that far from Ebden, but he was so off balance that he wasn't able to get back into position. So just right deep down the middle, perfect placement.
Left for service.
Like that changeup as well, because
14,
now
15.
Radanovic is trying to protect that out wide serve and can leave that tee open for Hunter. So it was good recognition, Good change up from Hunter.
So nice work again from Ebden at the net. Nice little twist of the racket angle to put that one away. 5-3.
Team Australia lead 5 games to 3. Love 15.
That wasn't the start that Cacic was looking for.
He was there just a little bit too much heaviness on that forehand from Ebden.
Love 40.
So 3 match points.
$15, 40. Second match, Team Australia.
So it's a clean sweep for Australia.
6-3, 6-3.
They win the tie, they win the quarterfinal, and they head to Sydney for the semis with plenty of momentum. Storm Hunter and Matt Ebden, 6-3, 6-3. And after that sluggish start, they were most impressive from midway through that first set. Completely dominant from that point on. And they're going to be in the mix, Team Australia. Team Poland going to take on the winner of France and Norway. They'll head up their quarter-final in Sydney on Thursday, Australian time. And then on Friday, it'll be Greece versus Germany. The winner of that match will meet the Australians. Both the semi-finals on Saturday, Australian time, ahead of the final on Sunday. Jill, they'd be pleased with they've had a great result tonight.
Yeah, they did. And I think especially after what you mentioned, not starting the way that they would have liked, but I like to see that they lifted their level, and also they had a lot of fun out there. I think they were allowed to maybe experiment a little bit more because they had won the tie, but obviously still taking that in stride and lifting their level when they needed to. Everything just got a little bit cleaner, their returns, their serves, so they did a great job of finishing that match strong.
So let's go down to our winners, who's with Catherine Whitaker.
Well, everyone, Matt Ebden, Storm Hunter, undefeated at the United Cup this week in Perth. Congratulations. How good has it felt to do so much winning for Team Australia here in Western Australia?
Oh, it's honestly amazing. It's incredible to play in front of our hometown. It's amazing. Obviously, after Friday, we thought we weren't going to qualify. It was tough, but obviously with our Aussie spirit, Demon and Isla today, they were unbelievable. So yeah, we just came out and enjoyed playing at home for one last time before heading to Sydney.
Matt, what's the best thing about playing with Storm?
Gee, she hits the ball clean, doesn't she? I mean, that last return, I mean, yeah, it's beautiful to play alongside her. If I'm at the net, I can just hear the ball just cleanly whispering past me. it gives me a lot of confidence. I feel like I can take some risks, and she's always got me covered. So, yeah, just super excited to play here at home with another Perth girl. It's really special. So thanks for the support, everyone. Thanks for always being out here.
That's your time in Perth over. Tomorrow you head to Sydney. Can you keep this up and go all the way?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to use the momentum we've built over the last few days here and keep it going in Sydney. Yeah, the team's super pumped to be in the semi-finals. It's awesome. And yeah, we're going to give it a red hot crack. And I think, yeah, everyone's looking good and excited to play on Saturday.
Sure are. Can't wait. Congratulations. Best of luck in Sydney.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
So savour the victory tonight, enjoy it. It's a special moment for them, and then regroup, go home, and packing the bags in itself will be a little point of reflection for them, because normally that happens at the end of the tournament, whether you either won or lost, but they'll be able to move on knowing that there's a big crowd in Sydney awaiting. Let's just recap the results of the day. So Alex de Minaur in that fantastic win over Novak Djokovic. The method of it, 6-4, 6-4, and then Tomljanovic against Stevanovic, 6-1, 6-1 for her first win of the tournament, and then Hunter and Ebden, as Catherine said, undefeated so far, 6-3, 6-3 to take the tile in a clean sweep. So this is what it means. Poland defeated China 3-love. Australia defeated Serbia 3-love, and Jill, for mine, they're the two favourites at the moment. I think Poland is still the favourite for the tournament, but these two teams are going to leave with Perth, and they're right in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're strong, and it would be great to see them go to Sydney and keep up how well that they've been playing, but they've been just doing such a great job, and two of the strongest teams for sure that are the remaining in the groups.
So that is it from us in Perth. We're going to hand it over to the crew in Sydney. On behalf of Jill and Catherine, our entire crew here in WA. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. It's been fantastic tennis. We've loved bringing it to you. It's been a tremendous venue. It's Poland and Australia off to Sydney for the semi-finals.